The All Progressives Congress in Igbotako Ward 2, Okitipupa local government area of Ondo State has suspended the senator representing Ondo South, Jimoh Ibrahim. The senator was alleged to have been involved in anti-party activities.
Senator Ibrahim's suspension is coming after he lost in the party's April 20th primary, which was won by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. Ibrahim went further to sue the party and the governor after the national party chairman of the APC, Alhaji Abdullahi Ganduje, had enjoined party governorship aspirants to support the party's candidate. Additionally, Senator Ibrahim has been accused of engaging in anti-party activities by urging his supporters in Igbotako and Ondo State to join NNPP, claiming he will soon receive the gubernatorial ticket from them. We're joined this morning by Ondo State APC Chieftain and Public Affairs Analyst Oni Olalekan. Good morning and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning for having me this morning.
Great to have you. There's people who had predicted that this would occur. I did see a few people say that right after the primaries, that one person is definitely, going to go to court. I've also seen Senator Jimoh Ibrahim stating or pointed out areas in the primary elections that he says elections did not hold, according to the INEC documents. But let's get your brief thoughts on what, if he is justified, for his complaints, and what, has happened so far.
Well, so far, after the election, after the primary exercise on April 28th, different aspirants have had their complaints, complaining about how the whole exercise went. Almost all the aspirants had one or two issues. In fact, truth of the matter was that none of the aspirants was able to vote on April 28th. Fast forward to, after the election, the National Working Committee set up, before the primary, set up an appeal committee for aspirants who had one or two issues to table their, complaints and all of that. Aspirants submitted their appeal and all of that, their complaints and all of that, and the appeal committee came up with the fact that, they threw out their complaints and all of that. Senator Jimoh Ibrahim submitted additional documents to back up his claims that there was no election and all of that. The party didn't listen to him, and then he went to court. And what the party constitution said was that after exhausting all internal mechanism complaints from the party, you can go to court. So what Jimoh Ibrahim has done, I don't think he has in any way flouted the party constitution. Yesterday it came up that some party members, 16 out of 27 Ward ESCO members, came up with the fact that they are suspending Senator Jimoh Ibrahim. First, even before now, these same executives of Igbotako Ward 2 has, passed a vote of confidence on Senator Jimoh Ibrahim. So everybody was shocked and surprised that some of these ESCO members also came up again to say that they are suspending Barrister Jimoh Ibrahim. But we knew that, with all of this is politics and this is political time and all of that, we know that some people are behind all of these things, I'm talking about this suspension that came up yesterday. But, we are waiting to hear because we have two instances, not even just one, after the primary exercise, where the Ward ESCOs came up to say that they passed a vote of confidence on Senator Jimoh Ibrahim, that they are supporting whatever he's doing, that they are also sure that there was no election on April 20 in Igbotako Ward 2. But we are waiting for the response of Senator Jimoh Ibrahim.
Okay, we've seen that there's been, like you've mentioned already, several people taking different sides of the divide. We've seen about 29 senators here. We have reported that 29 executive members in the ward voted, saying that they, of course, support the suspension, and 55 others saying that, they passed a vote of confidence on Senator Jimoh Ibrahim. What does this say about the party and, the internal dynamics of what's going on within the party?
Well, my opinion about this is that, you see, like I said earlier, it's about politics, politics, and politics. If you look at the numbers of people who came out to pen their signature for the suspension, for the purported suspension yesterday, there were 16. Irregularly, you have 27 Ward ESCO members in every ward. But what we had yesterday was 16. If you say, what does it purport, what does it show, or what does it say about the party? Well, it is politics, and when politics time, you experience different kind of things when it comes to politics and all of this. But I believe surely that, you see, the party in Ondo State said that there's a reconciliation. they came up with a reconciliation committee, even though some of these people that are on the list of the reconciliation have pulled out. But if you say you are doing reconciliation, how come you are also having, something like this, trying to suspend Senator Jimoh Ibrahim because he went to court? I believe that going to court is his fundamental human rights. And he has said that he's not fighting the party. He just wanted to fight the injustice that took place on April 20, 2024.
Right, okay. And the party have said that they're not, according to the reports, they say they're not aware of what's happening at the ward level. And we can't disregard the politics that happens at the ward level. Also talk about the strength of, Senator Jimoh Ibrahim as a politician and the influence that he wields in the state.
Well, you see, Senator Jimoh Ibrahim, for me and for every member of APC in Ondo State, knows that currently everybody knows that he is the current senator representing Ondo South Senatorial District in the Red Chamber. And then beyond that, he has been in the politics, he has been around, I think, since 2003. He has been contesting as governor, as under different parties and all of that. So nobody jokes with his influence in Ondo State. Everybody knows what he is capable of doing and all of that. So, the strength he wields, the followership he has, everything within his, within his area of influence in Ondo South. Nobody jokes with him, and everybody knows. And this is my point. Go for reconciliation. If you are able, this suspension will even add more to the intrigues and to the chaos and to the problems of the party in Ondo State. I advise that as long as it will take, there should be reconciliation with Senator Jimoh Ibrahim because of the general election. You don't joke with somebody who has thousands of followers behind him, beyond the South Senatorial District, across Ondo State. He has a large followership. Then you don't joke with such person. His influence is big, his influence is massive.
All right, and of course, this would be, advice to Governor Aiyedatiwa. Is there any other intrigues, that might be around, the APC politics, concerning the governor directly now?
Well, the governor has been declared the winner of the primary amidst all controversies, because I said amidst all controversies because we have so many aggrieved members. The primary exercise that took place on April 20 has polarized the party even much more than, we've ever had in Ondo State. So for the governor...
primary elections you're speaking of, was it, seen to be free and fair and, without crisis? Or is it one of those that just has so many discrepancies that, it was expected that there will be these, complaints?
Well, it wasn't actually expected that we'll have such complaints. All aspirants were expecting that there will be a free and fair election or primary election on April 20. But unfortunately, in fact, majority of Ondo State APC members will tell you that there was no election on April 20, 2024. And if you look at the case, the brief of Senator Jimoh Ibrahim's case at the Federal High Court, what he said, one of his briefs is that out of the 203 wards across the state, there was only election in about 54. That means that over 70% of the polling units across the state, there was no election in about 149 polling centers, which is wards across the state. So that tells you how the kind of primary exercise that took place then. So it was, we cannot, in fact, the major things people are saying on the street is that there was no election. So if there was no election, there's nothing like free and fair. But for the governor, I will advise that he goes for reconciliation and ensure that he reaches out to other aspirants, especially Senator Jimoh Ibrahim.
All right. We will, of course, we'll keep following up with the updates in Ondo South and to see exactly how this turns out for the political party. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll look forward to having you.